Board of Health, Hubbardston, to order on today, Tuesday, March 11th at 7:05 p.m. We are meeting in the Slade Building Conference Room. And all Board of Health meetings will continue to be here until the town sends out notices that the location has been changed. And we'd like to welcome.
It's been broadcast.
Yeah, I'd like to welcome Daryl, who is moving from Gardner to Hubbardston. Thank you for coming. And just a reminder that this meeting is being recorded, and mind your P's and Q's, as they say. Okay. So first, next item up is to review and approve the minutes from the February 25th meeting.
Why were there so many permits last meeting? Were these just in addition to the other ones?
It's the beginning of the year.
Yeah, there was.
We're still catching up with
Wow.
everything,
It
yeah.
just-
There's a lot of permits.
I
A
noticed.
lot of
And some of them are, we have signed them, but some of them are noticed to everyone in Hubbardston. If you've sent in a permit, but you haven't received the official copy yet, it's because something's missing. Maybe if you're an installer, it could be your workers' comp liability. If you are, maybe the senior center, maybe you're missing your allergy awareness certificate. There might be other things. I'm just giving possible scenarios. So if you haven't gotten your permits that have been approved at previous meetings, look for an email and or a phone message letting you know what's missing. Okay. Anything else from the previous minutes that we should take a look at? If there's no changes that need to be made, I would like to make a motion that we approve the minutes as written. Do I hear a second?
A second.
Diane seconds, all in favor? Okay, thank you. I think where I want this. Next is COVID-19/flu/Maven update from Judy.
Okay, so first Diane and I met and we spent how many hours together?
Oh, I know.
We started at 11, I think it was 2 o'clock when we finally quit. So, we went over the whole system, so what I need from you, Nancy, is to get in touch with the Department of Epidemiology,
Okay,
write a letter, like you did for getting me,
okay.
and I think it's Scott Tropy that you want to contact. And,
Is this
and
for
then-
backup Maven? Is that what it is?
Well, actually, I'll become the backup. She will become the.
Good for you.
Oh, boy.
Congratulations.
Oh, boy. I think I'm gonna need a
Oh,
little
yeah.
help there.
Oh,
with
yeah,
that.
lots of help.
Yes.
Shared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, shared.
It's gonna be shared,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
It
Okay,
should be
there you
for a little
go.
while.
So anyway, but somebody has to be listed as primary, somebody has to be listed as second.
Oh,
So, but anyway, so we need to get her started, getting credentialed so she can get her name put on the list,
Okay.
alright?
If you have any contact information that you had filled in before about this, would you send it to Nancy and myself?
That's why I suggested Scott Tropy would be the
Okay.
person to contact. You just call the general number and that you should be able to get to him almost right away,
Okay.
okay?
Mhm.
There's a little test that she has to take, again, and it basically is, and we'll do it together, cause I did it together with somebody else,
Okay.
okay? So it's basically walking through the system and then you.
So that you understand it.
Right. And the test really isn't a test, it's more like, this is a sort of a workshop. So you know how to find your way around,
Okay.
but we already did a lot of that.
Mhm.
So the second thing is that what we found is we had one case of Campylobacteria. And that was an old case beginning of February. And then all the other cases were influenza. So we had 6 cases?
Mm.
6 cases of
Mhm.
influenza. So no COVID. And no measles. But I did get this today, I don't know if you got it, Kathy. It's from Executive Office of Health and Human Services, and it was a clinical advisory. And they sent it out, basically the first couple pages is they updated, from the last time they sent out an advisory. But they also sent out a sheet with a lot of information on vaccines and the MMR. And they're saying anybody that was born before 1957 is probably okay and does not need to be vaccinated. But anybody born after 1957, should have received at least 2 doses. And if not, they're suggesting that touch base with your primary care. There is something, they can do a titer. One of my kids has actually reacted to the MMR, so with that, I said, no, we're not doing that. At that time, they were doing the 12-year-old before you went into middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no, I'm not letting my kids do that. So I titered all 3 of my kids so that I could meet the school requirement. So that's a possibility out there. And adults, they were even recommending on this advisor that even adults should, if there's any question in your mind about where your immunity is, then, by all means, get a titer done and find out.
Where you are.
Yeah, and you might have it surprising, because I'm fine on measles, I remember measles very well.
I do too.
Yeah, and I also had chickenpox in 3rd grade, and I remember that very well. But the UMass did, a push for making sure all their staff were all up to date on their immunizations 1 year, and my titer came back 0.
Mm.
So despite the fact that I had chickenpox, a mild case when I was a baby, and then I had chickenpox, a full case when I was 8 years old, I came back 0. So there are these funky little phenomenons out there, so if anybody has any question mark, then go to your primary care and get a titer done. Or just get a booster MMR, they're fine for that. The second point they made here was, if we wanted, it is available through the state, the MMR is available through the state. So if we wanted to consider, I forget what our number is, 15513 or something, that's our provider number. Every Board of Health has a provider number. But we've never followed through recently. We ran clinics and we used that provider number, but we haven't had clinics. So
Correct.
we just need to if we wanna go through, and work with the school on this, then we need to revive it. And then the other thing that Diane and I will have to do is get our names on the MIIS system.
Okay.
And I've seen the MMIS system, when it first came in. I was, on a committee at the hospital, so I got to see how it works. It's very easy. the piece that we would have to be concerned with is very easy. It's
Mhm.
just a matter of typing in the name and the same thing you do with the influenza.
Yeah.
You know, the name, the lot number, and the date.
Right.
So, but it just means that it's immediately recorded.
Yep.
So,
We are still registered, with MIIS. Every 6 months maybe, we get a email that says, you still wanna be on the MIIS color system? I'm like, yes, we do, we're not active right now, but yes, we do.
and every Thursday morning, they have a review session, so if you wanted to.
For
That's-
MIIS?
Yeah. So on Tuesdays it's Maven, and they just go over different topics, and on Thursdays it's going over the MIIS system, so. I haven't done it, didn't see a need to do that, but I suppose if we're gonna get into that, then it's time to jump on, say hello. So, that's basically it, there's lots of good information here, if you wanted to maybe pull something out of there to put on the website.
Website.
Melody's really good about that.
Yeah, I have gotten a notice from the CDC, was this directly from CDC?
No, this was, DPH.
Oh. I may not have gotten that one.
Yeah.
If you have it as an email, would you forward
I
it?
do.
Would
I
you
do.
forward that one to me?
Mm-hmm, yeah,
We'll see what we can do to make a one,
a little PSA,
yeah.
okay.
Good thing to do, sorry.
That's it.
Sounds fine. Do we have any new Title Vs or perks this?
No.
Yay, construction's a little slowing down, good, good. Sorry.
Except for yes.
No offense.
Water test well completion, 125 New Templeton Road, well completion report.
Oh, that's. This is a new build. It's just.
And there's no, water test.
No,
Okay.
that's just the completion report.
Why are we doing this one again?
Doing what, 48?
No, the 125 New Templeton Road.
Oh, they just put in a new bill.
Cause that was what was that? That was there before.
The first water test from Wellhead. Is this the whole thing? The well completion report?
125.
Yeah. I'm looking at January 14th.
Oh, I don't have that one.
I'm my detail person.
What's the date on the completion of?
Oh, we could have done that, and that could just have come in
A
later.
duplicate maybe?
No, cause this is the water test.
So they
And
sent
that-
the water test in before the.
They sent
the
that, that's what
form-
it was.
the
Oh,
form
Yeah.
from
okay.
the completion of the well.
Yeah.
But it's one
Cause
of
those
the,
sometimes lag.
Cause
Those
there's no testing on this.
because they
No,
come.
that's just to say
Then it's
it was finished.
Gotcha.
Okay, wastewater tests, fast report, 48
You
Gardner.
just, we had that last time, and remember you just
Oh,
wanted
yeah.
to talk about that.
Right. We had a little concern, about the numbers on the FAST test when we reviewed it, February 25th. There was one item that was 31.
BOD.
The BOD, and
Look
we,
it up.
emailed, Phil Ledger, our sanitarian, and, I thought it was because of cold weather affecting the system, and he said I would agree.
Oh.
That that's why the number was high. So, just so you know. That we, followed up on it, and, we'll keep an eye on it for the next time the water report comes in, but it's not exceptionally high, so. Next item is, open septic plans. We don't have any permits for tonight. And the first one is 205 Gardner Road. And once again, I sign off on that it was reviewed at the meeting, this way there's no confusion 15 years from now.
So Luke sent the wrong amount because we had changed prices, so
Right.
I just want you to look at it, and he's gonna be sending you a check, so.
Alright, so
We
let's.
just don't wanna lose that check.
No, we're gonna,
Want me to hold it for a minute?
it's gonna be right here and not passed forward. Okay. This is, for repair subsurface sewage disposal system. Nature of repairs, a new 1,500 gallon septic tank, D-box, and 2 leaching trenches to replace the failed system. Pass that around.
It's a price.
That goes to it.
That's the
That's
whole
the second
system.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not gonna let this
Okay.
get lost.
$20,000.
And here are some of the maps that Phil looked at. That way and that way.
Are we going on a septic program?
No, I don't believe so.
That's the whole system.
Mm.
That's the whole system. 20,000 plus.
And it's 2-page report. Anybody see anything?
House. Tank. Here's the big ones. Here's the pipes. So here's the D-box.
Where's the old system? Or you just know around here?
Oh, everything in the box.
Oh, existing field leaching area abandoned.
Okay.
There shows that they're gonna, abandon the old leaching field on page 1 of the 2 pages.
So I see the tank. But I don't see the D-box. Here it is. It's interesting to put it there. Right next to the system. Alright. This is the copy he sent me.
You did pretty good.
Okay, that all stays here, that stays here, this stays here. I sign things 2 more times before we can go on. Okay, that was 205, right?
Yep.
So next, we're looking at 43 Pitcherville Road. Sorry, muscle cramp. And if there are, plans that can be passed out, I'll sign it.
These are the corrected ones, so.
Okay.
It's a lot of pages.
Oh. This is. Got it.
Yes.
Any comments on the corrected one, Nancy?
I don't think so. He signed off on only one of the 3, I believe. He didn't sign off on that one, did he, Liz? Down-
Yes, he did.
Oh, he did? Phil did?
Oh, no, he didn't. Sorry. Yeah, it's quite the grade.
You could just, yeah.
So I'm just making sure it's
Oh,
fine.
actually, it's 1 foot.
Okay.
1 foot, 1 foot.
Oh, okay.
This is
It's
this.
going down
I also have the well
From the house.
permit
From
that
the,
you need to sign.
with
Jackie.
well.
Okay. Alright, we have 43 Pitcherville Road, which are septic engineering plans and a well permit. Everything else has been
That's
completed.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is the,
what was,
do you want this front?
I don't think it's gonna be much of a problem, but people know where it
Everything's
is.
Yes,
on,
you were.
everything's okay through the, building
Consider it.
department.
This is
Yeah, so far.
behind
So
us,
far, everything's
going
clear?
down-
Okay,
downhill,
so I-
away
This
from
is
the
going
house.
That's
up
normally,
here.
that's
Yeah,
already
that's
checked
the
off.
Then it goes down,
So that's what I've
no,
received.
the road
Okay.
goes up.
Oh,
Perk passed.
So, this must, proposed well.
Where's the well going?
Yeah, that's what we were asking,
Well-
where is it going?
It might be.
Cause we have a system that's going uphill. So, it's important to know where it is. And that's the key box again.
what is
I don't know why
erosion
they didn't
control
put it on
area?
that one. 'Cause
That's the
corrected
original?
one. This is the original.
Well, sometimes if it's temporary,
we are.
it's those hay bales.
So we're
Oh,
on
okay.
this one.
That's what I'm trying to
But
get
maybe,
around to.
like, sometimes it's trench or something,
Yeah, okay.
So,
or even stone wall is really bad.
Reserve trench.
the well is up here,
Where is it?
Where's the well?
way up here.
Oh, it's
Way
off
up
the
here?
back.
That's
Outside.
on this one.
Have they changed the well site?
No, there was none on the first set of plans,
Do
so
we-
they revised them and put them on the second set.
Oh, maybe I gave you the wrong ones.
This says revised February 17th.
What does that one say?
Yeah, that would probably be the old
Yeah,
ones.
this is the 14th, so this is the old set. This is the new set, and they didn't put it on.
It was on the last ones I got.
Okay,
I may have it in the car, oh no. I
that's
don't.
alright.
But how many
Here.
sets did you get?
He brought in and left 2 or 3 here, and then I had one. We met here and remember we were here on,
Right,
Monday, yesterday,
yep,
and dropped him off, unless he dropped off the wrong plan, but,
cause
Hold on, I'm just documenting it here,
yeah.
it's okay.
It was in the
Plan
upper right-hand side of the
dated.
house,
yes, it's up here.
How
Yep.
many acres do you have?
13 and a half.
They did, they also, oh, I'm sorry.
Woods, right?
Yeah, they logged it out, it's mostly woods, they logged it out about 10 years ago, I guess,
Okay.
previous owners.
And did they switch the house somehow?
We swapped it, so
Yeah.
the garage is on the right-hand side,
Yeah.
so
this
that's,
is
that should be the
different.
latest one, is the garage on the right. And the
Yeah, I
well
would
is on
think
the
this is-
layout, the major layout.
So this is garage,
That,
Yeah.
Do you want me to look and see?
that out
You
is
got
the
the right
garage.
ones in that?
Yeah.
and this is where
Road
the
trench.
house
We have a
is.
septic.
There's the house, yeah, so this is the old set, because this garage is on this side now,
Okay.
and this does flow downhill.
Yeah.
And they marked
So-
an X here with a well.
Yeah, but there was a, on the diagram, I actually saw it, there was a mark for it.
Yeah,
So
these are the old ones, cause this is on this side now.
So is there
and that
something
house is over here.
newer than the 17th?
Yes, yeah, I dropped something off on Monday. Boy,
I have two.
unless they
there's
didn't
t-
update the date,
Yeah, because there's, I got two sets of plans. I mean, there's multiples of them.
yeah,
But,
right, there was, yeah, 2 sets is what, was all there was
right,
submitted.
so there's, these are from, dated 2/14,
Oh,
and these
here's
are
the
dated.
Three,
right
four.
here.
Well, he marked it, but
What's the date on that?
3, 4.
Right, but he's
Oh,
saying
this
that
one's-
this is correct.
This one's
This is
3/4.
3, 4.
the big one will show it.
Well, that's when Phil
This is
looked at it,
November.
but it's dated 2/14.
Okay,
Yeah, this
so
is the old one, see, cause on this drawing, it actually would show it up here with the big 100
So
foot.
the 2/7, the ones I gave them, wait a minute,
Okay.
what ones do you have?
Yeah, they're the same, the older ones.
There's a lot
February
of older
17th.
homes on
Okay, so
Fisherville Road.
she's got the
Oh.
wrong
Old
one.
plan,
Is this a new build or
Yeah, there's nothing on the property.
old plan,
it's fairly far
It's like,
down?
yeah, it's like
Approved.
600, 300 to 600 feet off the road, yeah, it's
Scenic.
quite a ways, kind of up a hill.
Yeah.
Big mistake, as it turns out, 'cause
'Cause this-
how big the driveways, how expensive the
So this
driveway's
is the
gonna be, and the
14th.
trench for the electrical and all
Oh,
that
wait a-
stuff.
Oh, and that's the 14th, so what do you have? You've got
The
the
17th.
17th, but it doesn't show the well.
No, but yours.
No, both
shows
of
it.
these though, he marked it, but I don't know where the drawings are that, the drawing set he gave me,
I'm
Had 'em
confused,
right.
This is the 14th.
yeah,
Oh, I thought you said
This
it was
says-
the 4th.
No, this is,
This,
he
well, he
signed
it
it off,
before.
signed off
This
on
one
it on the.
this one's
on
oriented right, oh,
March.
there it is, yeah, that's the one, that's
yeah,
the one I
this is,
had.
yeah.
This
And
was the,
is that
the
one's
last one.
not this, is that one like this
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, this is the
This
last
is
one,
the
shows the
correct.
well, and it's got the right orientation of the house, yes.
But this is the 14th.
Waldo.
Oh, yeah, he has the wrong date. I'm
True.
guessing.
I'm
Okay,
confused.
alright, give me that one.
He
Let
put
me
the
see.
wrong date on it, it should have been like March,
This is the-
you know.
It doesn't matter, which plan is it? That one's not approved. I got it.
And this
This
one
one's-
is not either, right?
This one's not approved.
This one is the same as this one. Okay, these two will, this one's the right one.
Okay,
Let me not approve that one.
Not.
No, this
alright.
is,
Now.
Even
no.
though the dates are wrong on it,
There
the
it
one
is.
with
I
the
know,
well,
they
was the
got
only
the
one that had the
dates.
well on was the last one.
Oh, and
So
the
he has
garage
the
is
date
on
wrong
the
on the,
I understand.
okay.
Oh,
It's a typo.
So the one with the
But
well
that's-
is
Is that
correct.
100 feet
yeah, the one with
from
the well has the
system
correct
now?
orientation of the house and where the well's going.
Okay,
That's the
This is
final.
system.
okay.
So then this-
It's really good, thank you.
Well, I'm glad I did, I wasn't sure,
Clarifying.
I wasn't sure what to expect.
There one's way over here.
Oh, okay, alright. And then the house is sitting in the middle.
Okay, I signed this
Okay.
one off. Let me see,
This is not right though, because if he says the house is.
I know what
this
you're
is
That's
talking
the
about,
house
but
and
this
garage.
is driveway,
This house is facing
I
the
had mine
wrong way.
repaid.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know if I
no,
can have
it's-
it
Yeah,
paid
we're
back.
400
Not good.
feet from the
This
road.
is
I
not
know.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to hold off approving this to the next meeting because,
This is all
Yeah.
mixed up.
okay.
Sorry.
Not your fault.
Old plan. I'm signing off on these, it's very clear What's that? That's the new one, right?
This is
Yes,
the new one, yeah.
Alright.
Yep,
I think it has the wrong date, but it's the new
Yeah,
yep, this one's very clear too, if you want to sign it off.
11/2025.
Okay, so it's gotta go for, he's gotta change the dates and then resubmit them, or,
No,
no, okay.
we just have to have Phil sign the right ones.
Okay.
And then you're good.
Oh, I don't have to wait till next meeting? Or I do, no, if I do, I do. If I do, I do.
Are you ready to dig?
Yeah, they're waiting to, they have to do the road first, so, the
They have to do
driveway.
the road first.
Yeah, to get up there.
That'll take a week, 2 weeks?
I don't know,
Okay.
because, I think everything was contingent on this, can we do the road
This
permit and
needs to be
stuff
done.
without this being done?
Gotta get your
I
well.
am not sure
Because the
about that.
septic, I didn't think so, cause it's dependent on where the septic was,
Correct,
you know,
yeah.
so I think this had to get approved before we could do the,
Okay,
Well, at least you can dig your well.
yes, we can dig the well, right? Oh,
yes, we can.
We
I'm
can.
signing it right now.
Okay.
Signing your paper now.
Okay, that's done.
Alright.
Alright, so I asked the board members to give me the power for this, little blip, to come to the office and sign it as if cause we have seen them here in the meeting, but I won't sign them until Phil signs off on them. That's the typical procedure, so may I have your approval to sign them in the office as soon as Phil reviews and checks it off? Is that okay with everybody?
I guess so.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
one
Look at your
time.
piece of
Not all the
paper.
plans, but just this one, cause they're
Yeah.
ready to build.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
alright. Every once in a while, I ask for a little power outside of the meeting.
Elastic.
Don't get used to it.
Tough one.
Don't get used to it. What?
You
Not
don't,
being
you,
here?
you don't have to worry, cause it's almost there.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Alright, inspection report from Kathy. I haven't started inspecting, we're still pending on a number of permits that still need to submit something before we issue the permit to the food items. Was complaints on? Oh, okay. Zoo permit application, I'd still like to table that for a month. I won't be here at the next meeting.
Can I make a comment before we table it? Are there
Definitely.
definitions for zoos, petting zoos and animal rescue anywhere?
Oh, that wasn't in the sample, was it?
No, it says that there's a definition for animals.
I think it kinda needs to be edited and put
Yeah,
in the
okay,
proper
so would you,
procedure.
yeah, okay, so that's a good
Just something to
comment.
think about
Add
because, I mean,
definition.
if somebody has 4 dogs, is that a zoo? You know what I mean? Like it's not, but.
Zoos and sanctuaries. Okay, we will do that, work on that. I think I started to do that, but maybe not.
I didn't hear what you said.
So
To
we're not actually.
edit the.
We're gonna need to edit the zoo permit application to add definition of zoos and sanctuaries, so that we're
Okay.
not using someone who owns 4 dogs or 4 horses as that sort of thing.
Well, yeah, farm animals, you know.
Right,
Those are
right.
zoos.
Okay, good point, thank you very much. Okay, try and get through this as quickly as I can here. Here's a spare copy, this is my copy I found, of the regs, for which we are looking at, trash haulers. And do we need to, change anything, Irene Cogden, how I mispronounced her last name. I will just say, Cogden's, proposal from December when she did a Zoom meeting with us. We kinda, tabled it for a bit because of a number of other things going on. So I guess you guys can maybe share that copy. And what I did is reviewed what she had given us, that she had actually drafted in November 24.
I need to go back and just see if
And-
this is the way the rates are set up,
Shoot,
generally.
you guys can't
Alright.
see all that, and I
Do you have
need
a
it
copy?
to look at.
You wanna sit here, Diana, so that you can?
Yeah,
share.
yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
So
What
in
page is
our
it on?
current regulations, it's under Article 3 that we have our residential and commercial refuse permitting and operation. And, that's this,
I wrote all this.
right here.
After you
Um,
asked for it.
So you should know exactly what it is.
So our purpose
Tried to forget.
and all looks fine. I do think we need to add Irene's section on authority, section 2. What she had written is, these regulations establish minimum requirements for the systematic collection of solid waste and recyclables in order to promote waste reduction, comply with state mandated waste bans, and then there's a code, and further the goals of the town of Hubbardston. The Board of Health of the town of Hubbardston adopts these regulations under the provisions of chapter 111, section 31, A, B, C, 122, and 150A of the Massachusetts General Laws. Private haulers shall only collect for disposal those items acceptable for disposal. Materials banned from disposal under 310 CMR 19.017 shall not be included with solid waste. So this brings us up to date with the current codes. So,
I misunderstood. I thought we were adding to hers. We're adding
No,
from hers to ours. right?
Correct.
Okay, alright.
because, if we want to move to the next step, which is to call Irene and say, yes, our regulations are similar enough that there should be no conflict. If you wanna take the next step to investigate, joint hauler for the various towns, we don't have to do that until we see what she comes up with. But we needed to, adjust some things. And, with what she proposed and our current regs. And, this will, bring it up to date with the current codes, the current restrictions on, for example, you can't put mattresses in dumpsters anymore, they have to be recycled. That's just one example. And then effective date, we'll add section 3, effective date, will be whenever we approve this. If we approve it tonight, then that'll be the date. If we don't approve it till the next meeting, then it'll be the, whatever date that is, so we have to add a date. Other definitions. Our definitions are okay. That are on that,
Page 11.
is that, what page is that?
It says 29 here.
And it's, what page on that one?
11.
Okay, so this was the draft, that's the approved one. And I have my own copy of the approved one, which is on the website, by the way.
Oh.
Okay. And, we want to add a section, we're gonna have to change numbering a little bit, to clarify that we, want mandatory recycling. And
In what
her-
section?
it's gonna come after, so you have your purpose, your authority, I think that's everything we have, right?
Purpose definitions.
Definitions, okay, so,
Service areas next.
yeah, that can still be the same, so after.
Collection schedule, point of collection.
Okay, so before, after service areas, we should add mandatory recycling, and the paragraph, that is highlighted in yellow that we looked at before, it says, in order to protect the environment, promote recycling, and be in compliance with the Massachusetts Waste Ban Regulations, 310 CMR 19.01, it's in parentheses, the town of Hubbardston.
We didn't have
We
something
don't-
like that in there
We
already?
don't have to say hereby establishes, we already have
I
that,
was gonna say,
but,
yeah,
which section is it on that one?
313.
313, do we have 313 on there in the draft? Cause that's what I looked up until.
Disposal of recyclables, 13.
Okay, so mandatory recycling should be go under 313, 3.13.
Well, there's a lot about
Yeah, but it's
recyclables, there's 310, 311, 312.
Right, so I thought that,
Just-
That's all
we should
specific
add the
something.
paragraph
I don't have it.
before, all of that, just to say that, the town of Hubbardston Board of Health, let me get this right,
that's frequency,
of health
so,
renews the requirement of mandatory separation of recyclables, renews.
Mhm.
And I can go over this with you tomorrow, Nancy.
Okay.
Requirement of mandatory separation, so we already have
put
it.
that in. Just, you don't need the word renew.
Okay, well, alright.
It's a
Requirement,
regulation, you're just saying, this is the way it's gonna be, it's black
Okay.
and white.
the requirement of mandatory separation of recyclables from the solid waste stream. This requirement applies to all residential customers / generators and commercial customers / generators in the town of Hubbardston. The town of Hubbardston will inform all generators, residential and commercial, at least once per year that recycling is mandatory. That can just go on the website. That's how you, so this is that paragraph, so you guys can not just listen, but
And that will get
That's fine.
added,
right there,
Right
that's
here.
3,
13,
yeah,
Now what can you, like,
I don't wanna,
right on it.
can't we just kind of bend the page like that?
sure, I don't mind, it's fine with me, the page is still there. I'm just trying to
Draft copy
bring
anyway.
the terminology so that it's more similar, cause a couple of these things were written that are kind of outdated as to what you can and cannot collect. And by putting that in, even if we left all the other verbiage in there already, and it's not 100% correct, this overrules any error we might have as things that you can include and cannot include.
Because it changes.
Because it keeps changing. So that's why I wanna put that paragraph in. Does that make sense? Okay, can I have that back now? I only have one copy of it, sorry. And that's that paragraph. Oh, I didn't take allergy medicine. I have to take it every day. I just wish I didn't. And so half the time I don't, and then I regret it the
All
next day.
year long?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I've gotten really bad. I think it's related to the infusion medication that I'm on. Okay. The permit application, I don't believe in either one of these we have much definition of the permit application. So the definition here, I'm going to, the last part, it says 15 days and it should be business days, cause that gives you 3 weeks technically. And the annual permit renewal. I should have made copies, I'm so sorry. We should add this section because it's pretty clear, it's up to date. Of the permit application annual permit renewal, cause some of our wording is kinda outdated. The next page on here says total tons of solid, we don't have a printer over here anymore, do we?
No.
Total tons of, there's tons of, what solid waste collected, we're gonna hold off on adding, because it's talking about groups of towns. We can add it in later.
No, I think this document is gonna be revised at least a half
Right.
a dozen times before we finally decide.
And then the general permit requirements and bundled service requirement and inspection, all these sections that she had put in, I think we should hold off. I mean, they'll go in it later if we move forward as a, one of 3 towns doing this, so.
Now, did that come to all of us via email?
Yes,
A while ago.
yeah, back in December.
Cause I'm thinking, I don't know how, probably deleted it somewhere along the line. So can
Do you want
you
me-
still have it?
I can find it.
Okay.
So what I wanted to add is, the authority section.
That's fine.
Date effective,
agree.
of course.
Yep.
We don't need definitions, I think we're fine on that. Add the paragraph about mandatory recycling at the top of, and add in permit application description, which I'll pass you, you guys can read it. Maybe you can look at it together. It's just up to date. Oh, there is another, jeez, please, Kathy. You can read, that's the paragraph, and then add this and renewal.
We do not have it in here.
It's just this.
Yeah, it's not, we would put in this version of it,
Instead of this sentence here.
yes,
about
instead of the
permitting it.
one sentence about the permits.
Yeah, that's left over from 1994.
I know, and that is, what section is that labeled?
3.24.
3.24, we're removing and putting in this one that is from Irene. Okay?
That makes sense.
Okay. I believe I got this sorted out before I got too tired today.
So it's just 3 changes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's very clear.
And that clarifies where we're at. So I would like to make a motion that we will, we are tentatively approving the changes tonight, such that I can call Irene and say we're moving forward, go ahead and move forward with investigating the 3-town plan. But we will do a final review, or you guys will, at the next meeting. Okay?
All right, that's.
Does that sound fair?
Yes.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
No, but you need a motion on each one of those
We do?
paragraphs that we're gonna enter.
Oh, okay, so
So-
we want that motion to be amended to add this,
You make a whole new motion.
alright,
So-
scratch the last one. Thank you, Judy, for order of business.
So we'll make a new motion to add in XYZ paragraph,
Right,
okay? cause this'll have to be spelled out word by word, but we know what it says right now,
So it's the authority section
with the authority section.
in her document, it's
And then we need to,
effective date, which
Right,
would be at the
so-
end.
we need a second on that motion. To
Second on the-
inter,
I
to
second.
interject that, the authority paragraph
We're
into
gonna add
the
in.
Board of Health regulations.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
Then
and
we're
then the
gonna-
second motion will be
For
to interject into the Board of Health regulations,
mandatory recycling,
mandatory, paragraph,
highlighted in yellow on this document.
mandatory recycling, XYZ, you got to spell it out,
It'll be written out.
what,
It's
you know,
all here.
so for the notes, yeah. Then, and that,
I'll second that.
okay,
And all in favor?
I,
The
and the third
next- the-
motion will be
Or-
to interject into the Board of Health regulations,
permit
a
application.
permit description, permit application description,
And a annual permit renewal.
not yet.
Okay, this one first.
Um,
Okay, you're making the motion, I'll second it.
So we're gonna interject that paragraph
And replace the
to replace, yeah. So
item,
again,
item number
Nancy's gonna have to cut and
3.24.
cop,
three
cut and
point two
paste
four.
that paragraph to make it a formal motion.
Okay.
But we all know what we're talking about right now.
Right.
So we'll,
You're gonna really watch this YouTube video.
no, we're not. So, so we need a second on interjecting the permit application description,
I'll second
Just put it-
that.
okay?
All in favor?
Aye.
And
Now,
then
what is the fourth one, and the fourth one you want to add
Is
is?
the annual permit renewal. You wanna read that? It's better defined.
Each permit shall end, alright,
It's a little more up to date
it's
than.
a little more descriptive than what's in there.
Yeah, which would
All right.
replace item,
I don't even think it's,
I don't think so.
I don't think it's in there, I think it would be a new paragraph.
okay,
So we would have to put it in,
as,
there's a paragraph on canceling the permit, but there's no paragraph about,
right, so above the paragraph,
so that would be above, or 3.351,
and 3.352,
yeah.
about
the-
canceling permits,
The canceling permit, so that will have to be retitled,
right,
3.35 will have to be retitled.
into 3.351
Per-
and 3.
Permit, permit renewal and cancellation or something like that.
Okay.
And then point one would be this new paragraph, 3.35.1 would be the new paragraph on,
Irene's,
now, we don't have a paragraph about how to get a permit.
That,
well,
this will be
we were
this.
adding that,
Okay,
we're adding that in,
okay,
which we just approved.
okay. So, well,
So maybe
wait a
all
minute.
that should be
it should be moved.
3.24.
Yeah, so 3.35 of the present version, cancellation of permit, should be moved to 3.24.
And all three of those should be underneath 3.24, right? So
Right.
3.241.
So,
Oh, right,
24.
so the,
License
so the
and
permit
inspection.
application and the annual permit renewal paragraph that you,
you've got right there.
right there, will go under 3.24, and the cancellation of the permit will go under 3.24.
And cancellation was 3.35.
So that makes better sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be all grouped together, that,
Okay, so
yes.
back to the motion, we're going to interject into the regulations, under licensing, we're going to interject an annual permit, a paragraph, a descriptive paragraph on the annual permit renewal process.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay. Did you get all that?
Kind of, but we'll work,
We'll get it.
we'll.
I got it, I understand, I haven't even seen it, so.
Oh, well
I
then
do
we
get
did
it.
okay explaining it because, alright,
Yeah.
so that's, I'll take that all back.
Those little sticky tabs really can come in handy.
You know, I should bring some.
And that's my copy, that I'll keep at home for now.
Yeah.
And this all goes here, rubber band.
My copy's on my computer somewhere, but it's there.
Okay, rubber band around that. Oh, and another clip, I don't know where it belongs. We'll figure it out
Is that
later.
the original one that I put together? Oh my
think so.
gosh.
Okay,
That only took me 3 weeks.
we did it. And I will contact Irene to say that we interjected
You
a
want us
number
right
of
here?
things
Yeah.
and we're ready for her to work on the next phase,
Perfect.
okay?
Okay.
Again, we don't have to, join in until we find out what comes together.
Mhm.
But we've been kinda holding up the works, for a couple months, so we should move
I don't
forward.
mind holding up the works.
But that's okay, you know, she'll get busy. Alright,
Alright.
next, Mark Popham's 2025 proposal for landfill monitoring service.
That's when Gail, was, questioning. It
So,
was in the notes, he
Right.
was questioning that.
I asked him to, so 2025 should be the 30-year. And he was going to look into how to write a letter asking that we, after this year, no longer need to test. 'Cause every report has been normal for 30 years. However, for 2025, there will be an annual fee of $5,865 to do a test for this year. The lawn mowing service, which Rick Green has taken over because the other fellow got too old, of $265 to mow keep it down. I ask your approval to put it into a warrant to bring up at the town meeting for payment out of the general funds.
Yeah.
Is that right? General funds.
That-
Free
that's
cash.
Yeah.
Free cash from the town's funds, not our board, which was the way it was done up through 220, when
Both.
COVID hit and things got messed up.
Both of those amounts, the
Correct.
testing and the mowing, okay.
Yes, and the mowing. And, so I will, with your permission, put it in as a warrant item at our June 2025 town meeting. It's valid to do it that way. And so I think that would be along with some advice from other town, staff in the office, that would be the way to do it. And more, now, Mark Popham's service, identified one of the well points as needing either flushing or replacing. I think I'm under the desire, let's put it that way, to use, because this is trash landfill, that it would be appropriate to use some of the recycling budget money to pay for whatever that costs out of our own recycling. And, we'll continue hopefully doing metal recycling twice a year, and then that will, cover those kinds of things as they might come up. Another item that recycling money could be used for is maybe once a year, construction dumpster drop off, to put a lot of things that the DPW has picked up and thrown into an old tractor trailer on the property. And so maybe we can help out by covering what that might cost the town otherwise, but in support of us, continuing to do metal recycling twice a year at the south end of the DPW site, which was our recycling center area. So that's how I think that recycling money could be used wisely at this point.
How much was the well repair?
We don't know yet. Fingers crossed, we can maybe have
So what you
DPW do it. So the proposal is
on the
to-
warrant, you're
is the
gonna put
warrant for
$265
for mowing,
for mowing, and then the 5,000
$865,
for the annual testing.
right,
And if we get lucky and we are able to state our case and
afterwards,
and
after this
DEP
year, because of being the 30-year mark.
finally backs down, okay, so,
So my proposal is that you approve me filling out the warrant for those two
Yeah.
amounts for the town, and then we'll speak to it at the town meeting.
okay.
And our overall plan, and hopefully by then Gael can research a little more into how to go about doing that.
Okay, right, I second it.
All in favor of doing the warrant, allowing me to, approved.
When is the town meeting?
June,
I'm not sure, so it was the beginning of June, right?
yeah,
And then the second item is, it's usually on the second Tuesday.
right, because we can't have a meeting.
So, and the second item was to take recycle money.
Yes, we'll have to figure out how much it's gonna cost, but
To repair,
/ flush the well point.
Because it's a below.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I suspect,
but you also were saying use the recycle money to
to
support
paying,
recycle from
at some point,
roadkill.
no, it's a variety of things.
Yeah, I
A
know.
broken scanner that was donated to the town, that is in the trailer. But, so this is more of a philosophy. We don't have to necessarily approve a specific amount till we get, and I don't want you to approve doing that until we know exactly how much that construction dumpster would cost.
Okay.
Bring it in, okay? 'Cause we had one there and the monthly fees started going up horrifically, 25-30%, and all the rest, 'cause we had been supporting and paying for that. And so we had one final they came and did a final pickup, and they charged an arm and a leg for that too. So we need to get, some estimates from various, haulers as to a one annual. I think annual would be good, and that we can support, cleanup of the town in that way, through the Board of Health, through the support of the townspeople bringing their metal recycling on metal recycling days, one in the spring, one in the fall, and then getting a check to help cover that, to help do that as annually if we can. It's all depends on the value of metal.
Okay.
So, but that's what I think would be a good plan
Alright,
for this money.
but you still have a motion
Well, I
to,
can,
to use the
Recyc-
monies to repair and flush
a well that's clogged.
the,
But there's not an amount, so
I
there's
don't
no
have an
motion.
amount, so I don't want to do that yet.
okay,
Where is the well?
on the landfill.
On the
I-
landfill? Okay.
I suspect they all have caps, and I suspect one of them lost their caps, and wind blows leaves and whatnot.
Junk.
We'll have to take a walk later this spring and have them identify which one they're talking about. Cause they have it on their information when they do the inspection, but there's a bunch of places that are tested. It's not just 3 spots, there's multiple spots where they test on the perimeters. So, so it would be good to,
8 wells.
Okay.
He marked it.
okay, oh, he did. Oh, how nice, I didn't see that. Well, we have a little map here from an email.
Oh, right here. I highlighted it. That's what I prepared. 3935.
That
Isn't
one.
that the one that's circled?
Okay,
So it's right at the V there.
okay. We'll be able to find it. There is a map. I didn't see this map before. For some reason, I don't know why, but I didn't. So we can probably figure out which one it is, and it's near a,
And you had also asked about who the DPW analyst was. He does not know.
right. So we're not gonna worry about who the DEP analyst is right now that's assigned to us. That's something Gael's gonna have to find through reaching through the state websites. But yes, and until we know the cost of what this is just like a proposed plan. It's not something that we can really vote on until we know how bad it is and, you know, who might be able to do it and at what cost. So I don't wanna get us into something that we can't really follow through on just yet. But that's like the vision, if you will.
Okay.
Briarwood Townhomes?
Yeah, that's about those, items I wanted, the citations 3 and 4 to be done by March 1st, and, I emailed him on the 5th.
Okay, so last year they didn't deal with the citations that were brought in from the state, and, she emailed them looking for an update, regarding citation number 3 and 4 at Briarwood Townhomes, and, it says Briarwood is under a hardship, citations 3 and 4 cannot be completed at this point.
Those were the most egregious, weren't they?
Yeah. Not sure what we need to do.
They were supposed to be done by the 1st, and you reached out on the 5th.
Cause I hadn't heard anything.
Well, it seems counterproductive to fine them.
Yes, what we need to ask is when do they expect to do it? And we want a realistic date commitment from them that we will hold them to. So we need to have them look, you know, pay attention to this, cause this is not safe for the residents. So I think that's the way the next step is to send another email back and say, we're sorry to hear the situation, however, what is your realistic timeframe? We want a definite commitment to date that they will be completed by, because this affects the residents at the townhomes.
Do the residents know? Is this
I don't
posted
know.
somewhere?
It's
Should we
known
ask?
in our meetings, so if they watch the meetings at all, go online and look at our minutes, it's listed there. Do they individually know? I'm not sure. So I think that's the next step we should take, and, we want a response from, Flag, who replied to you
Yeah, did he reply?
from East National
Yeah, that we-
Water.
that this is the person
And-
that, is at Briarwood.
And also to Jamie Grantham, should go to both.
And then this person is Jay.
Where's he from?
I don't know.
Well, it's.
I just
it's-
copied all of them. I mean,
Right,
I
should be-
replied to all.
Right, it should be replied to all, that this is the next step, and we expect it to be, an actual date to be set up in a timely manner. And, to get this corrected, cause it's not, these citations are fairly egregious, like you said.
Should we be asking them to notify the residents?
Yes. And we should ask them to notify the residents if they have not already been informed. Written notification.
Can
Well,
that
if
be
they're-
passed around?
Yep,
Can I see
yep,
that?
yep, yep.
If their association is the one that's been handling it, then probably the residents do know.
But we should make sure
Yeah,
by insisting and that they give us a copy of the notification that they're giving to the residents.
So this is an HOA that's responding, not the, not a property management company?
probably, yeah.
Oh, that's such a bummer. I feel bad for them.
So, you don't wanna raise fees, but,
Make it
This is one
safe.
way that the residents can understand why they might fees to the owners associate, or what, however they've got it set up.
mm.
So they understand why.
Mhm.
That makes sense to everybody as a plan?
Yeah.
I don't think we have to make a motion on it, this is more just how to handle it.
Anybody would like to see this? No, okay,
Sorry, we're more familiar with it than you, sorry.
that's okay, I just wanted to refresh my mind here.
Alright, new business, Mass DEP well driller program.
You would add that.
Right. The driller program's reaching out to all boards of health, with reminders of our well driller regulations, requirements.
Oh, yeah.
Your role is vital to ensuring that well drilling activities are supervised by a Massachusetts certified well driller, and that a well completion report is submitted to Mass DEP and the Board of Health within 30 days of work completion. Please review the following information and contact us with any concerns. And then it's listed under 310 CMR 46.02 and the role of the municipality, and I
Is this
had you-
gonna be another interjection into our regulations?
yes, that's what I'm thinking. So, did you forward this to everybody yet? Just bring it to the meeting, to members on March 4th. So you should have gotten this
Mm.
notice, so, we don't have to vote on it tonight, but you should add it to the next agenda to add some interjections about the new regulations. Well, they're not new, but clarification of the regulations.
Yeah, 'cause we do have, well,
Yes, we do have, they're in here.
yeah,
It's just, again, keeping it, our regulations up to date. Okay? So that's the plan. I asked, Nancy to forward, an email about a grant prioritization working session, to all boards. It will be Thursday, March 20th at 5 p.m. in the Slade Conference Room, and it will be facilitated by Capital Strategic Solutions, and will focus on identifying key funding opportunities and aligning grant priorities with Hubbardston's long-term goals. So if you can attend, even if it's just an hour, depending on your own schedule, RSVP by Monday, March 17th at noon, and the email has been forwarded to you guys. Should go to admin@hubbardstonma.gov to let them know if you plan on coming.
That's because the room only holds so many people.
Right, I'll be here. I will not be able to attend. So that's why I very specifically asked this get forwarded to everyone, and saying it out loud so that everyone in town knows that this meeting's going on. Any unexpected subjects?
I said I could, but only for an hour.
That's okay. Yep, an hour's will give us a grasp of what the direction is.
Oh, I had a question, I was trying to think, and I was holding it for unexpected subjects. Any word on the HELPC bins?
They're down there,
Yeah,
but they're too far in, nobody
you
can see
can't
them.
see them, yeah.
So I was wondering, if we should maybe move them near the new town offices, but I don't know if there's a spot where they can be placed. I thought that might be a good idea. Cause people
In the
come-
corner,
in a corner, yeah,
yeah, way far in. That's
the
a
back corner.
possibility, yeah.
That's a good idea.
I think the thought was that by putting them down, near the recycling driveway, entrance driveway, it would reach out to the southern part of town folks, but they're just not very visible.
Yeah.
I think more people come and go, but through town offices and such, so I thought maybe we should ask to have them moved. Now, I recommend that we wait, 'cause they're still working on the buildings outside quite a bit, maybe a month before we call HELPC and ask them to bring them up, 'cause there's still a lot of outside construction stuff going on that they're fixing at 48 Gardner Road, and it might be a whole lot easier if not all of that is there.
No rush either. to
Yeah.
move them, right?
But if anyone wants to use them, they're located there, and the reason you would want to use the HELPC bins, which are down across the driveway from the salt sand pile that is available for residents to get some sand for their sidewalks, is because we get a small amount per poundage of shoes, clothing, rags that are recycled with this group. And what they do with them is good. It's not going across the ocean somewheres. So,
I was down there turning around, using the driveway to turn around. And somebody did drive in and drop off 2 or 3 bags, so
Oh, nice.
slowly the word is
Mhm.
getting out, but
I've used it a couple times myself.
Yeah.
But I think to have it in a more visible spot might be a good idea. So we'll wait and move it in the future. Unexpected subjects, metal recycling day. Would you guys look at your calendar and, if it's okay, we'll maybe do a Saturday in May? If that's okay with folks? And get back, so, townsfolk should expect another metal recycling day, in May. That's helps support the, Board of Health recycling account. On Earth Day, or the weekend before or after, I can't remember, the Boy Scouts are having, recycling and other activities, maybe more than just Boy Scouts, at the parking lot by the playground. So-
Which Boy Scouts? There are Boy Scouts in town,
Yeah, I don't know which troop it is,
but they come here.
it's,
I think
it's,
that's
the
their
boys,
number.
if you go
12.
to the town website, I believe it's already posted there.
Okay.
And it's very close to Earth Day, which is April 22nd. I can't remember exactly.
They do
Apologize.
pretty well too.
Mm-hmm. So there are opportunities to do recycling in Hubbardston besides the trash haulers.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, that's it. Complaints. There have been 2 complaints received that Rich Stevens, our housing investigator, went to, called or went to so far in this month of March. And he has sent in very nice reports. And so he hasn't sent any bills yet, but
Yes, he said that.
oh, he did send bills. Never mind. I'm wrong. Okay. But they're being handled and resolved appropriately. Without getting into, if you wanna see the actual complaints, you can read them yourself. But, for the privacy of the individuals, we don't currently speak to addresses and names unless it's really warranted. And a public hearing might be needed or something. Okay, turnovers, FY 25, number 18. A total of $1,015 has been put into the various accounts. And a breakdown of to which account it belongs in is been identified, so looks good. And I will pass that around. As soon as I finish signing it, there's the current turnover. And then, and, yes, and here's the, request for payment from, our housing inspector for,
One of them.
for the first complaint of $50. And he did make a visit, so. Let it go that way. Or not. Well, you should keep going the same direction or I get mixed up.
Do I have to
Okay.
sign this?
Yes.
Yes, that one you do.
I never know what I'm supposed to sign.
I guess, just some comments, the, freezer, the, what's that cabinet that we emptied?
So, fire.
The fireproof cabinet and the, cabinet behind that one, they're all emptied and ready to be moved over. Any papers that I thought needed to be saved are in, file drawers that someday we will have to go through. All the current, home plans with septic and everything that's filed by street are all locked up at the current time, cause there's not anybody really in the building now that things have moved. One more trip for me to go over and get the, EDS, we have some nice posters for entrance and exit this way for intake information that we've had for years, and one box of supplies that were in the one cabinet near the boiler, that needs to go to the FEMA trailer for future. And then I think we will have gotten all the immediate things completed, for the moving. And thank you for helping Diane that
Of
one day.
course.
And I've been over there, I don't know, 3-4 times, moving, helping box stuff up, deciding what to keep and what not to keep. And if I'm not sure, I keep it, for now. And we may be able to, thin out some of the, property information, but the process is that our town clerk needs to randomly pick 3 charts, see that, of ones that have already been scanned, and see that they're complete and everything's there that's supposed to be there, and then we can apply to the state to thin the records. Whether they let us do it or not, is up to the AG, or State Attorney General's office, Massachusetts. They may say yes, they may say no, so we're just, they just had a move, just getting settled, so this will be done sometime this spring, but I'm not exactly sure.
Where are we applying to the AG? Isn't
We
there a
have to,
isn't there a standard list of how long you have to retain these?
yes, but by the current code,
You just have to run it by the AG?
yes,
Okay.
before any records of this nature are destroyed, because there are time restrictions on some of these things.
Right,
Some are 10 years, some are forever,
right.
What
and
happens to these records in the meantime?
they're staying right where they are for now. At some point, they may go to the upstairs, one of the upstairs areas, I haven't seen upstairs at all, to be moved over there
Yeah,
at some
there's
point, when the library's
supposed to be an area upstairs
for
in
storage.
the new building
Oh, I thought you meant in the
for
library.
storage.
No,
No.
No, because we're giving over the basement level, which were town offices, back to the library.
Mhm.
When the town offices are now not in the library, they can start the process of applying for special grants to upgrade the library.
Mhm.
That were not possible because there were offices unrelated to the library itself.
Mhm.
And it's a sticking point for sure. And, so,
And there are some, because my office, I share with 2 file cabinets for the assessor's office. So there are some files that are definitely going to have to be retained, and I think we have a good argument to retain the septic plans.
oh yes, that's under the authority of the Board of Health.
Yeah, so,
We have full say, if we wanna keep every single piece of paper, except maybe, well pumping reports that have been put on the computer, we can do that.
And septic.
Septic,
pumping.
yeah, not well. Oh my gosh, septic, sorry, I am getting a little tired.
We knew what you meant.
Sorry, wrong word. But yes, we, as the Board of Health, that's one of our rights
Mhm.
to decide how we wanna keep the records.
Right.
Yeah.
This seems that we always end up arguing this point when we've got a list that tells us how long we should be keeping these things,
Mm-hmm.
and how critical septic plans are
Right,
to be kept
having
as
the right ones.
paper. And, and some of these plans, when you have, I asked for a copy of the school plan,
Mm-hmm.
the layout for
Mhm.
some of the EMD stuff I'm working on.
Emergency stuff, yep.
Right, and it came back to me as an 8x12, and it was like awful.
Well,
So-
you can't read it.
No.
And that was originally why in the late 1990s, or maybe it was earlier than late 1990s, that the state came in and said, we want full-size paper copies.
Yep.
Because nobody can read it, so how do we know it was done correctly?
Well, a lot of them were drawn on a piece of paper. My septic plan was drawn on a piece of paper. It's a natural drawing, just scribble drawing, you know? That's it.
So, these are good things. These are all good things. It's a good direction to go. So that's where we're at. Just a reminder to everyone, on the, for town elections this year, there are 3 positions technically open on the Board of Health. One for 3 years, which was the one I just finished. One for 2 years, which was actually, quote, your position that you've taken on. And one for 1 year, which technically would be your position. So, I would encourage folks to go talk to Mel, and, it's very easy to get the 20+ signatures of residents around town.
Just go to the senior center.
Yeah, or anything like that, or your friends after school at the pickup, or whatever, and do that, to retain helping out. And getting on the ballot so that, it's not a write-in of 1 or 2 votes, and not knowing who would be there in that position. So I encourage you to, get the application, get the signatures, and get it back in, for that.
You're gonna do that?
So, the good news is when there's 5 members,
We had a discussion.
if someone can't come, it's okay.
And you are.
You know,
valuable
things can keep
asset
moving smoothly.
Because you have the
We
eye for
do
details.
well. Hubbardston's
So you're
Board of
very
Health is
valuable.
doing well based on the basic standards
So,
that
please do.
the state is trying to make sure that all the
Uh-huh.
towns
I'm
meet.
weighing my options.
We're doing pretty good. Do we
Oh,
meet
yes,
everyone?
yes.
No.
What do I have to do?
But I think we do a lot of things in a very timely manner compared to bigger cities. So, it's all because of everyone who's served on this board has done so willingly, and, I hope they'll continue.
Mhm.
Thank you. I'd like to adjourn the meeting at,
The next meeting date.
oh, sorry, I always forget. The next meeting date,
March
is
25th.
Tuesday, March 25th. At the current time, it will be 7 p.m. here in the Slate Building. And I acknowledge that I will not be here at that meeting, so you can draw straws to who wants to run the meeting. That's okay with me. And I'll be at the next one,
Or we could wait till April.
depending on the things that need to be done. Oh, and one last comment before we adjourn. I did complete the online,
Food
reviews
inspection.
for food inspections.
Nice.
And I'm just waiting to hear for the summer session, hopefully sometime in June, that I have to attend in person, to just, again, meet that state standard that they're now bringing to to everyone and everything. You can see under the well completion what it should be, and we're, looking at trash haulers and updating our regs to meet the current standards, and, so
Yeah,
that's
and
where we're at.
there's going to be a requirement for all Board of Health members to attend a workshop, but they used to have them and then they stopped for a while. I think COVID kinda came along, but they used to have it once a year. They used to have a workshop day on a Saturday. It was always very good, so they're gonna bring that back, but they're gonna make it more that Board of Health members should attend. So, usually it's in the last one, in last time they held those workshops, it was in Marlboro,
That's not far.
it's an hour away.
Not far.
That's not bad. For us, if you're in Berkshire County,
Yeah.
That's
that
another
might
thing,
be
right.
Yeah.
not so good. Alright, I'm adjourning the meeting at 8:40 PM.